was a thing. Okay, here we go. Come on. Come on. So we are just waiting to get our connections established. And it is really not being my friend. You got to be kidding me. Well, that's okay. We're going to move on because sometimes technology does what it wants to do and not what you want it to do. And it's all right.
Ain't that the truth?
It is all right. So we are here today with Kinyetta. What's going on?
Hey, girl, nothing. Just enjoying a little bit of this little weather.
So Kinyetta is actually here in Garfield Heights, just like me, right? She is an established beauty professional who actually owns a salon right here in the area. So let's talk about some of the services that you do at your salon.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna say I'm a silk press master because that's something that I could do with my eyes closed, and plus I do it on the daily. But I do offer hair extension services such as I-tips, K-tips, and sew-ins, and also
Okay.
tape-ins too. Yes.
Okay, so we are an extensions expert. That's what we got going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us how many years you have been in the industry.
So I've been in the industry, let's say maybe 26 years, and I've been a salon owner for 20 years.
Wow, do y'all see that? Y'all see how that works? There is longevity in cosmetology. I tell you all the time that cosmetology is absolutely a career. You can absolutely make
Yes.
money, right, in this industry. It's going to be some slow
Yes.
times, and it's going to be some times
Yes.
where the bag is just
Yes. Booming.
whoa. And it's going to be those times where,
Did I
it's
choose
not
the
really doing what
correct
I
career?
wanted it to do. I need to switch some things up. And that's what we have
Yes.
learned as beauty
Yes.
professionals, right?
Yes.
There's so many things that you have to learn, and you have to make adjustments when you're in this business, just like any other business. But the main thing is to get to the mindset where we are actually treating our career like a business, because many of us were not given the tools in cosmetology school to do that.
Yes.
So, like, at what point in your career did you understand, like, you know what, something needs to change?
Honestly, I'm gonna say maybe about when I was working in my own salon, and then I started working at the Paul Mitchell School in Twinsburg, and just seeing how they did business compared to how I was doing business. Woo!
It's totally different.
Totally different. And then I'm gonna be
Totally
honest,
different.
I didn't change right then and there. It took me some years to be able to change, but you have to want to change.
And you have to know that
That's
you
the
need to
key.
change. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And my salon always been a booth rental salon. I will do commission, but mainly it was booth rental. So my mind has always been stuck in a booth rental mentality.
Okay. That definitely makes a
So
difference.
yes, and personally, I never worked in a commission salon. I always worked in a booth rental salon. So to be honest, I never knew how a commission salon ran, and honestly, still having challenges you know, with doing commission.
All right. So there you have it. We are learning every day in this
Yeah,
industry, right?
yes,
I don't
yes,
care how long the people have been in business, I don't care how much money they have made. There's still always something to learn. So if
yes,
nothing
yes,
else that you take from this today, understand that, because combined we have over 50 years in the game and we're still learning. But that's because business changes and evolves. Like what we
it
used to
does.
do, baby, we would be at the mall. the mall. Do y'all even know what a mall is?
Exactly. Every
That's my
Saturday
point. Business
and
changes and
Sunday.
evolves. We may have plazas, but most people shop online. But when I say we went to the mall, it was an inside structure with stores on the inside. And we would be in there
Right.
passing out cards, every
Yep.
weekend, every other weekend, the weekend before the
Yep.
concert, because that's when everybody wants their hair done.
Yep.
So you want to be the choice. You want to be their choice. So you're doing direct marketing, in-person marketing. And it looks a lot different today.
It does. And
Today,
honestly,
we're
I'm
doing
still
this.
stuck on that. I'm still stuck on that direct marketing. I mean, I do social media a little bit, but I'm learning. I will
Well,
say that.
yes.
I'm learning, but I'm still more so, I guess, as I've been around for so long, I'm still more so like word of mouth.
Hmm.
And even though I do have digital cards, so I do pass that out to people. I don't have no physical cards, but I still will pass out some physical cards too, though. Don't
Hmm.
get me wrong. I will. But
Now, all the gurus will tell you that the old way of marketing is dead. It's not dead,
I don't
it's
think
just not
so.
first.
Right, right. I don't think that will ever be dead.
I think no matter what, people that human connection is still
Yeah,
required. I think
yeah,
that with our shutdown, we learned to do business a different way, but I think we also forgot about some of the ways that we used to do it. So, now that looks like we have event spaces. We don't just have salons, we have event spaces.
right. Right. That's true.
So we need to look at our business a different way. Like we still can provide that human component, but just putting our business out in a different way. So let's talk about some of the changes you've made since then, since we had to close our businesses in that was that February. And once we reopened in May, that was a scary time for all of us. How did you
It
recover from that?
was. Um, whew, it was, it was a challenge because, for one, that was my first time ever being off from work. Like literally being, what I think I was home for like 3 months. So that was my first time ever being home for 3 months. And
Yes, we were off for 3 months.
and honestly, I got comfortable. Honestly, I got comfortable and I wasn't ready to go back to work. But in the process, doing the shutdown, I knew things was moving, like towards online and different things like that. So that's when I started Beauty Strands, which is my hair care accessory line. And that was just more so because I still had clients who wanted, who wanted their hair done. But
Mhm.
honestly, I just didn't want to do hair. But I was providing them with accessories to still keep, their hair together, like, like the bonnets, the silk scarves, the pillowcases, flat irons, dryers, shampoo, conditioner, whatever they need
Come on
to
with it.
maintain their hair at home. I provided that. So that's how Beauty Strands came about. And then when it was time to open up, I felt special because I got a lot of clients that call. It was like, when you coming to work? When you coming to
When?
work? So that is what really made me go back to the salon because I
Okay.
felt special. I felt loved. I felt needed.
Well,
So
we have that connection with our clients, and it is very important to have that connection with our
yes,
clients. That's how you know that you are doing a good job and making an impact on the people that you touch. We touch people every day, whether we are hairstylists, estheticians, braiders, barbers, nail technicians. I don't want to leave anybody out. I'm
right.
talking to
Yes,
you if you are in the beauty industry, right? We
right.
touch people on a daily basis. So not only do we need to maintain our licenses and be in compliance, but
Hmm.
maintain a clean and professional atmosphere for our clients. And whatever vibe that is that we create in our salon, we have to make sure that it fits the clientele that we desire and that we have. So can you tell me, because see, I see how this is gonna go. I'm gonna have to tell the people. She did a whole remodel. Okay. I did a remodel too, but no, no, from the if you are in Garfield, and you have not been to her salon, if you are, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, if it's a client out there that used to go but doesn't go, I need you to go
They
back.
need to come back.
We need you to go back, right? But no, your remodel, everything is just so beautiful. The way it's color coordinated and everything, it looks so good. How did you
Thank
come up with
you.
that like design scheme?
Um, so blue is my favorite color. If you don't know me, blue is my favorite color. I love blue, and also okay. So going back to when it was time to come back to work, I said, "Let me go and clean up the salon." But when I went to go clean up the salon, I was just like, "Ugh, I ain't feeling this no more."
Okay.
so so I had to make some changes. So with the help of my partner and my mother, they was
Mhm.
like, "Well, if you do this and you do that," and then, it was just on from there.
It looks so
It was
good.
on from there.
It looks so good. So now that you go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
You remodeled the salon, right? Which was the environment that your clients actually come into. So you remodeled the aesthetic of that. How did you change or revamp your customer experience?
Let me see. How did I change that? Okay, so how did I change that? Sorry. Okay, so one thing with the shutdown and then, with the COVID and things like that, it made you basically only work with one client at a time. So
Yes.
now I'm giving every client that personal attention that they need versus just like go, 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 go. Trying to do 5 people at one time. Now I can just give you that attention that you require.
Come on with it. Because I think that the customers have been asking us for that, but we didn't know how to give it to them and still eat.
Exactly. So I did have to go up on my prices, which was cool. I changed my booking site, which was like with the help of you, which was like been a major, major transformation. I'm still in the process of, switching over, but when
Mhm.
I say that is so much better, oh, that is so much better. Because I had an online booking site, but at the same time, my clients, they were still texting me and calling me. So I'm like, oh, this defeats the purpose.
Can you
So
repeat that? Because this is something that I think a lot of people miss.
with the online booking site, so with the
Yes.
online booking site, the one that I previous had, it was cool in the beginning, but they made changes. I understand everybody made changes, but the changes was not benefiting me and my situation and my business. So in
Mhm.
the process of that, my clients were still texting me, were still calling me, and I wasn't able to return every text. So, sometimes people feel that you forgetting about them or you ignoring me, and that's not the case.
At all.
Um, so when I switched over, now it's like everything is right there. And don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, if you still need to talk to me, I am reachable.
That's what
I
she
am
said. I didn't say
reachable.
that. I didn't say
But
that.
I would say this to the client.
Yeah.
At least give your stylist at least 48 hours to respond. Because
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest, I ran into a couple of situations to where, a client would text you, and if you didn't respond back like within, I'm gonna just say within an hour, they like blowing your phone up. And this
Yes.
could be a Sunday or a Monday. But I would just say at least especially if it's not doing business hours.
Yes.
Least give your stylist 48 hours to respond. Because you never know. They could be busy, sleep, or shit. Just don't want to be bothered.
I'm just off.
You
Like
know.
I used to try to make these explanations and give reasoning. I'm just
Hmm.
off. And I think that for me, I was a little more, I'm a tourist. So I'm just gonna say, right? So I did have to learn how to say things in a way that wouldn't, run people off. But I am
Right.
very, I'm I work on facts, not feelings. The fact is, I'm off. And
Right.
just because you feel like I should talk to you while you're at the hair store, the fact is, I'm off. The fact is, that's not a service I provide. It's not a part of your service. Nowhere in any service did I say,
Right.
you didn't read that anywhere, right?
Call me when you at the hair store.
So some years back, I actually I had Google Voice at the time. So I would just, you were able to make an automated message and you were able to group the
Uh-huh.
people and things like that. So I had clients and they had special messages for each group of clients because I had some clients
Mm.
that were a little extra needy, so they had to have a different kind of message. But it directed them right back to my booking site once I started doing that. And when I tell
Okay.
you the adjustment was hard, we're not saying that it's not going to be hard. We're not saying that every
Right.
customer is going to roll with it. But what I'm saying is for your peace of mind, for your lifestyle, you need to separate that, right? So, everybody do their own thing. That's what worked for me. And
Right.
and it's not only just for us because like Kinyetta said, listen here, the clients are calling and they're upset because you didn't respond, but I was cooking dinner. I
Right.
was out, listening to music. I was taking a nap. And when I wake up, I'm not always looking at my phone. And I feel like I
That's
shouldn't
true.
have to.
That's
Most of
true.
us that punch a clock, we don't want anybody from the job to call us when we're off, right?
That's
So if
true.
we don't put the boundaries in our business, other people aren't going to respect that. So I think it's
That's
just a
true.
matter of us as beauty professionals, creating some boundaries and, revising the perspective that people have of us and the expectations that they have of us.
Right.
That's, really how I see it. So I am just it just feels good that when you do work for somebody, see, I do work for my clients behind the chair all the time.
Right.
They love it,
Right.
this, and they tell me, but to do work for an industry peer and they come back and say, like, it was just amazing and I love it. That's just everything. That is just
I wish
everything.
I would have done it
So
sooner, but hey,
I am just so grateful that you chose me to do your Acuity Glow Up. You guys, it is a service that really can change the way that people see your business because that's exactly what it is. We change the visual portion of it and we
hmm,
also update your descriptions and your profile and also set up your responding emails. Did you know that your online bookings
right,
are going to do that for you? A lot of people I see have the booking sites, but they don't use them to the full potential, right?
right.
Like you said, people will still text or whatever, or they'll say, "Hey, if you if you don't pay your deposit and confirm it by text, then you don't have an appointment." That
And
defeats the whole purpose of the system, the tool.
I'm exactly, and I'm gonna say, well, my booking site is very user friendly and it's to the point. So I've been hearing a lot about these booking sites. My rules are basic rules,
Hmm.
which is no children allowed unless being serviced, no extra people unless being serviced, and basically just respecting my time. But
That,
it's like the and also it's please wear your headphones when using your devices.
oh, can we talk about that?
Them is like I have the basic rules.
But let's talk about that. Why do people feel like everybody around you wants to watch the same program you're watching, wants to
Yep.
listen to you flip through these reels that
Yep.
change the tune every second? So it just sounds like give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
Yep. And don't forget about the people that talk on FaceTime. And so I'm still in the
Like I
traditional
didn't call that
salon.
person. They didn't call me. I don't need to know anything they said.
Right.
And it
So
it
look,
it, it distracts the people around you. For the most part, people come to the salon to get away from other stuff, to get away
right.
from their life at home, to find some peace while they're getting their hair done. Some people don't care, but the good majority of people have been at work all day and now they just want tunnel vision. But they got to give it, urban, it. Somebody else's kids running around, the
Yep.
person over there talking real loud. So I know that is why some people, prefer the suites. But what
Right.
is it about that open concept that is still bringing people to the salon? What do you think that is?
I think it's just more so the community,
Hmm.
in a sense, because I do love, even with the even with the other stylists that work in the salon, like I love seeing when like all the clients come in, everybody have like a good rapport. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? And then I'm more so like a friendly, I don't want to say like, I mean, I am a friendly person, but I'm what's the word I'm using? Well, anyways, I'm also like a sociable person. So,
Okay.
I like to talk to people. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I like watching other stylists work. I
Hmm.
like, of course with my clients, but I like talking to my clients, and then even the clients, have a relationship with each other.
And they know when somebody is missing, like, hey, I haven't seen so and so. Does she still
Yeah,
come? Is everything
yeah,
okay? So it's
yeah,
just building a community and building relationships. There is still something to be said for open concept salons. I am here for it. I am here for whatever it is that any particular beauty professional chooses to be their salon
yeah.
environment. Listen,
You just got to go with
I don't
what
have a
works
TV in
for
my
you.
salon, and I choose not to. I've worked at so
Right.
many. Oh my goodness, the TV will be on, and then everybody wants to talk over the TV. And I
Right.
literally left the salon for that reason. I would seriously have a headache when I went home every day.
That's how I
No,
feel
you just
about
have to figure out what works.
right. I do have TVs. I have TVs in my stations. They inside the mirrors, but I just
Ooh.
keep it on mute
Uh-huh.
and have the captions so they could read the
Come
captions.
on. Come on with the
So
alternatives.
exactly. And then for the most part, even though people have their phones and stuff, so they barely pay too much attention to the
Yeah.
TVs. But like I was saying with the earphones, like you said, you will have this going, the radio going, and then, like you said, when people talking, they try to talk over the radio. It just be like a whole lot going on, and I'm gonna be honest, I can't take all of that. It just be
No.
too much. Then I get
Yeah.
quiet and be like,
Yeah,
oh,
so
this
if it's
this
a
is
client
too
out there
much.
that likes the hustle and bustle, then that's the salon that they'll choose. If it's a client that likes a more relaxing environment, that's what they're going to choose. So, as a beauty
Right,
professional, if you are not in a position to own your own, or you don't have the desire to own your own salon, take into consideration the environment of the salons that you're looking at and the type of client that you
right.
want to attract. Because sometimes it's like oil and water, and you can't figure out where your money went. Well, you went to the wrong environment for the clients
That's
that you had.
true.
So,
That's true.
is there anything that you would want to tell somebody who is either considering the cosmetology industry or is currently a student and ready to jump out here and spread their wings?
Always be a student. Always be willing to learn. Like I say, I've been in the game for what, 26 years. And I'm gonna be honest, I was an assistant for 2 years before I actually was able to become a booth runner. So
Processes
it
and
takes
procedures
time.
and
Yep.
systems.
You have to be patient and you have to be willing to learn. And also what I have noticed, when I do try to do commission, you have to be willing to take constructive criticism, whether it be from another stylist or your client.
Or the
Everybody,
client.
and I'm gonna speak on the client's part. Every client is not going to like your work. That could have been the best hairstyle that you did. You could be, because it happened to me. I'm smiling like, "Oh, this shit look good. I did that, girl." She was like, "Oh,
This
this
part right
ain't what
here,
I was
can
looking
you?
for." Exactly, exactly. So you can't take nothing personal, but just
Right.
be willing. Just learn from that. Just learn from that experience. But you
Yes.
have to be willing to learn because like I say, I graduated in '94 and I took cosmetology and hair school.
I
So
did too.
fast forward to 23, oh, it's a big difference.
It's a very big difference.
It's a
So, you
big
guys, you don't have
difference.
to go into debt with cosmetology school. A lot of the public school systems offer it as a trade
Yeah.
course. that you can take in high
Yep.
school. I took my first half in high school and finished after I graduated. But
Okay.
okay, so that saved a bag, right?
It did. Yeah. It did.
It
Yes.
saved the bag,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
So if you have the opportunity to do that, if you are a teen and you are interested in the beauty industry, see if that program is available in your school and take full advantage of it, right? Just
Yes.
take advantage of any opportunities that you have. I don't care what it is that you want to do. If there's an opportunity for you to do it at a low or no cost, because the way this debt is stacked up and structured,
Right.
don't pay for anything that you don't have to, right? So if you are
Right.
able to get it as a part of your high school education, that's great. Even they even have college courses that you can do that with too. So just be, think about the big picture, right, in your cosmetology career. Because if this is your first time here, you don't know that is my tagline. Cosmetology is a career.
It is.
That's it. I don't care what anybody says. They will tell you you can't make money in this, you can't do this, you can only do certain things. You're only a hairstylist, you're just a barber. I'm not just anything.
Right. Like with anything, it's all about how you treat it.
How you treat
You
it, how you
you have
present
to treat
yourself.
cosmetology like a career. You can't treat it like, oh, this is a hobby. Granted, a lot of us probably started off with it as a hobby, but
Absolutely.
no,
Absolutely.
this is how we provide for our families. This is how we,
For
make
years,
a living. Yes, for
decades.
years, for
You said
years, and
25
then
years for you?
yeah, yes,
Yeah, 25
look,
years, 30 years.
and
We
probably
listen,
more than that. And
because that's
then
before
granted,
being licensed. Because we played around and did hair, all the cousins hair and everything before that.
granted, during the pandemic, just think about who was making money. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot
Because
of
the
people who
world
was
was
doing
shut
services
down.
at home. Yes,
Yeah, the world was
yes.
shut down, but guess who was still at work? The news anchors, the bank execs, and guess what? They still had to look good. So while
Look,
our
and the
salons were
cosmetology
closed,
industry. Exactly.
the freelance industry was like booming. People that were going to those people, going to the studio, going to that person's home. So if you were paying
Exactly.
attention and you were positioned the right way, you were still able to do your job.
Exactly. And another thing people have to remember, people always want to look good, regardless,
Always.
male, female, child, hell, even the animals. Even the
You look good, you
groomers,
feel
they
good.
get right. Even the groomers getting paid, but everybody
Yes.
wants to look good, so that would be something that would never, you can never lose. Honestly, you can never lose. Even with YouTube University, you would
Look,
never lose being in the cosmetology industry.
you can learn some things there. You definitely can. But I just want to encourage you all to know that there comes a point where you have to invest in your business and in yourself.
Yes,
We can see all
that's
the free
true.
tutorials, we can get, all the free gems when people go live and everything. But just understand that that information is surface information.
Right,
So
right,
we were just saying how, yes, get your online booking system set up. Yes, oh, these are some things that you're doing wrong. But what I didn't do is give you a step by step, okay,
that
of how
part,
to get it done. That's where the
that
investment
part.
comes in, right?
Yep.
Same thing with cosmetology school. I did a live earlier today and we were saying that, hey, I went to cosmetology school and didn't learn anything. I think we need to change that narrative. I
Yep,
think
that's
that we need
true.
to manage our expectations, because cosmetology school is for you to learn the skill and science. The definition of cosmetology is the art and science of beautifying hair, nails, and skin. That's what you learn. It didn't say you're going to learn how to run your business. There is a business chapter in the book, but
Right,
the definition of cosmetology is the
right,
art and science of the beautification of hair, skin, and nails, right? So
right.
just like if you go to college for business, everybody want to go for business. I got a degree in business, okay. But when you get to that job, you're going to get an entry level position unless you went further to specialize in accounting, HR, how, whatever the specialty is, forensic, finances. If you did
Right.
not
Yeah.
branch off into that, which was going to cost you more money to do that. So you see how that investment is going. And the more you invest, the more you learn. So that's with, cosmetology. It's with any other type of schooling. It's levels to this shit. It's
Isn't it?
it just
It's
is.
isn't it? Like you say, I'm still learning, and it's still so much that I want to learn. So it's never ending,
It is never
never
ending.
ending.
It is never ending. But the
So
key to the beauty industry is the customer experience. If your
that's
customers are
true.
not happy, they're not coming. So your customer experience from beginning to end, when you meet them, how they heard about you and how they feel while you're there and what you do after they're gone. Like
And I
it's
and I guess that all ties into customer service. So this just like some of the things that I hear when clients come in. They say I walked in such and such salon and didn't nobody speak. Like customer service is very, very important. And
even
furthermore,
if it's
there's
not your
nothing wrong with
customer,
speaking. Exactly.
because we just talked about building relationships and community. And
Exactly.
that is the opposite of that.
Right. Speak, give compliments. It's not gonna hurt you. But that's all part of being even if you in the even if you're in a suite by yourself, you
Mhm.
still should speak when people come in. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Make them feel welcome, make them feel warm.
Mhm.
You can't have an attitude and then
I'm only gonna
expect
talk to
people
my
want
people. I know that's her client, been sitting there forever. I ain't gonna say nothing, no, because she might have the attitude if I say something. We we gotta stop that.
exactly. And like you say, it's a community. It really
It
truly is.
should
It's a
be, yeah.
community. Right. It should be. It
I
should be.
definitely agree to that. So so what is one thing that you think that you have done to set yourself apart from the competition? Because hair salons, churches, and all of these things, it's one on every block. And in our case, it just in our stretch from one end attorney to the other end, it's about
Right.
9, right?
Right. It's
And a
a
and a
lot.
set of suites that are close by you. So how do you set yourself apart? What is that thing that they can only get when they come to you?
Honestly, I'm a genuinely being myself.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna just say the customer service.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say the customer service because we are a friendly and welcoming, environment, whether it's me or any other, stylist that work there. Everybody there is friendly and welcoming. So I would say I think that would be the biggest thing that set us apart.
And did y'all see how she just plugged in her whole team? It's not when you're a leader, it's not just about you. It's not
It's
just
right,
about you.
right.
Everybody have to eat so that I can eat. And you have it's interchangeable because it's a community and we have relationship with one another. It needs to be mutually beneficial.
Right. And like you said, you pick the salon or you pick the people that you want to work with. Like I say, I'm a nice and friendly person. So I can't work with a person who's not nice and friendly. Because then me and you not gonna get along and I can't come to work being unhappy. No.
Now we
So
gonna
you
talk
have
about
to
it a
pick the
time or two,
people.
and then
Yeah, exactly. So you do have to pick you do have to work with people that you can get along with and communicate. Because think about it, we're with these people 4 to 5 days out the week, 8 to 12 hours a day. A lot of times we at work more than we at home. So you have to be surrounded by people, like they say, like-minded people. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Granted, we do have our differences, but it's no difference to where, a client to be like, "Ooh, something going on today," or I feel a tension in the air. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But for one, we are grown, and for two, we are like-minded. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
everybody's not going to agree on everything, so that'd just be lying to say everybody agree on everything. You
Just
know
as
what I'm
long as we
saying? But
respect each other and our boundaries.
exactly. Exactly. But for the most part, look, for the most part, we do agree on everything. But no, even though I will say, even though we all are individuals, we still work as a team. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? I will say that. Like if somebody else's client is sitting there and I'm available, would you like
Mhm,
for me to get you started? I get that client started until they stylist come in. You
mhm.
know what I'm saying? So it is important to work around the people that you like. And then also realize if you're not a people's person, then maybe you do need to be in the suite by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like things you do have to recognize and be honest with yourself about.
That's the part right there. I think a lot of times, not only are we not honest with ourselves, we don't do the self assessment that we should. I
Right,
think is more that than even not being honest with ourselves to even know that we should take a look inside of ourselves and what we're doing and where we need to improve that. I think we
right,
just kind of just go with the flow a lot. Being creative, we don't always take the time to sit back and figure out what exactly is going on, that we're contributing to that's causing a challenge for someone else or even ourselves. We just,
right.
off to this thing, off to that thing. So I want to encourage us all as beauty professionals to think about the big picture of what you want out of your career and put a plan in place to get there. We aren't mostly taught that planning is a part of business. You have to plan for your profits, right? Because you have to decide how much you're going to charge in order to make this
Right.
much money. That's a plan. It's called a profit plan, but it's a plan.
But
You have to plan your
right.
content because if you're just throwing darts at the wall, you're posting everything and stuff you don't want to do just because somebody came, well, then you're going to get those people that you don't really want to
Exactly.
do. So you have to have a
Exactly.
plan. You have to plan to put out the content to attract the people that you want. So especially with this social media, there is more planning to business than ever. You see the
Yes.
reels all the time. Oh, I'm the janitor. I'm the content creator. I'm the photographer. I'm the editor. I gotta go get the supplies. Like it's just a lot. So the more
Yes.
that you have a system, even for a particular hairstyle. So let me break systems down because I think that people get systems and tools confused. So your booking site is a tool. The system is how the client navigates the tool
Through
and
it.
your chair. So they're going to go to the website, they're going to book their appointment, get their confirmation, they're going to come to the salon. Then the first thing you're going to do is this. Then you're going to do that. Then take them to the bowl. So this is what I mean by a system. The tool,
Right.
just the online booking site, but the system or the customer experience, right? Let me
Hmm.
interchange those words, right? Because we have to talk to us like we're going to hear it, right? So
Right.
when we learn something new, we like to come out here and say system, system, system. It Your customer experience
Right.
is equivalent to a system. How the customer experiences their service or your business, right? So if we get that stuff in place, the customers then know what to expect and we have less miscommunication. That's
Right.
just in a nutshell. So, is there any last words that you wanted to say today? Because
Um.
we're gonna do this again.
Oh yes, this was fun. Um. I would just say, let me see. I would just say to anybody who do want to be in the industry or whatever, just stay encouraged. And if you need somebody to talk to, it's people like Tiffany out here that can guide you. So I'm gonna just say this, speaking on that. You know how, and a lot of people like to say, because talking to people, they say, "Well, I don't want to spend the money." You don't got to spend no money. You got to do this and you got to do that, or just do this yourself. Everything can't be done yourself.
Not in a
I'm the
timely
type of
fashion.
That's true. That's true. And sometimes, in order to get things done, sometimes you have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need that push. So it's okay if you can't do it to ask for help.
Yep.
That's what's going to help and make you grow. But just staying stuck, like, well, I ain't about to pay her for this. I can do this myself. But yet, you still haven't made any changes and you still wondering why your business haven't changed because really you're not willing, to change. And granted,
That's
it
it in a
is some
nutshell.
people out here that can do everything. I'm not that girl. As much as I wish I was, That's not me.
Yeah, me either. I
That's
find my
not me.
lane and I drive in it.
Exactly.
Now, people will say,
Exactly.
are you a coach? I'm not a coach. I'm a consultant. I can put the plan together for you. I can show you how to do things, but I'm not rah rah. Did you do it
What?
today? No, you can do
Right.
it tomorrow. I have children at home. That is reserved for
Right.
it's just
For
not
your
the
baby.
energy that I
Right.
had. So you have to figure out what you have energy for and what your personality is. Like that will just make I can't
Right.
it, that just doesn't work for me. So my lane is, hey, I know how to set this up for you so I can give you a training on it or I can actually do it. I'm not going to call you every day or we're not
Right.
going to that's
Exactly.
I think people also don't
Exactly.
understand that when they're getting help, there's different types of help. You have
Right.
consultants, you have coaches, and you have strategists. That's a whole nother different subject. I'm sure I'm going to do a live on that one day. But it's different. And I think that the word coach is just thrown around very loosely
Loosely,
because
yes.
we aren't aware that there is actually like a difference. But I'm not the coach.
And do
I'm very much a
your research. Do
consultant.
your research.
Hmm.
You have to do your research to see. Same with working with somebody in the salon. You have to do your research to see if you are a good fit. Like coming into our relationship, I told you,
She did.
I'm really not a problem child, but
She just needs a little
sometimes
more hands on. And I had to decide, is that
exactly.
something I can do? And here we are.
Exactly. Exactly. But just to let people know, it's okay. If you need help,
Hmm.
it's okay. If you can't do it yourself, it's okay. That's what we have consultants and coaches and strategists for. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Okay,
yeah.
if you try it and it don't work, okay, now it's time to move on. Well, let me call Tiffany. Tiffany,
Like,
I
girl, I
need your
tried it.
help.
You got a
Right.
product for this? What I gotta do?
Exactly. So that's what I would leave. And last words or whatever. It's okay to ask for help.
It is definitely okay to ask for help. So what have been some of the feedback from your clients on your Acuity Glow Up?
Oh, you know what? They love it. And so here's the thing. I Brandon, when we do photo shoots or whatever, we look a little different in the photo shoot than what we do from in the salon. So
Yes.
they love the pictures. But I was currently with not currently, I was with Style Seat. So
Hmm.
jumping from Style Seat to this, oh, they love it. And
It's a
there's
day and
no
night
fee.
experience.
Exactly. So I've been getting good feedback. I
Good.
still have the people that still texting me, but slowly but surely.
It's gonna
But the
take
good
time.
thing, yeah, I like that I could send them my link.
Send them the link and then say, or call me this day at this time.
Right.
Like put them
And
in a
also,
box, put it in a box.
and
My
also,
hours of operation are, or whatever you want to call it.
and when they do come in the salon, I will go through it with them so they can see
Yes,
how to use it. But
absolutely.
they loving the Acuity a whole lot better than Style Seat.
That's awesome. So you guys,
So
those are two online booking systems. There are several more, but I am most familiar with those two. One of them is going to give you the benefit of marketing for you, which would be Style Seat, but Acuity is more, you're able to do more personalization and take your hands off a bit more. So it just really depends on where you are in your business journey. But whichever tool that you use, whether it's even one outside of those, make sure that you understand all of the features that are available to you and use them. Most of
right,
these
yeah.
platforms have videos for you to learn how to use the stuff. But I think we just don't kind of take the time for one. And number two, us being more visual as creatives, we need to learn in a different way. So, hey, that's where I come in at. I take I
Right.
take that information and bring it to people who think like me and to be able to teach it to you in a way that you can digest it and then go and use it. So, people say, well, I mean, you can learn that for free. You can, but is it being taught in the way that you learn? So those are
Right.
different learning styles. So those are some of the things, that sets me apart even from the free content that you get from the platform that you are looking to use. Because they start saying words, they just start clicking stuff and going, and now you're playing it back again.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm showing it to you just how it looks when you're doing it. So, that makes a difference. So just like when you are doing your skill, your craft, and what sets you apart in that, you have to know what sets you apart, no matter what it is that you're doing. And you have to be able to position that in front of the client, meaning put out the content that's going to bring them to you.
Exactly.
So all of we're gonna talk about this going live stuff too. We gonna talk about that too.
That's next. You know I need help with that, but that's next.
So so here's the thing. I have run that cohort 2 different times, and just like I said, there's a time to assess. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make some tweaks to it and do
Okay.
it a bit differently. I think maybe instead of offering as a challenge, I'm just gonna do it as a class and just
Oh, okay.
sit down and actually be more hands-on for something like that. So we're going to try it like that on the next cohort. I don't know when that's going to be, but it's
Okay.
important in business, any business that you're in, that you take the feedback from the people that have come through your chair or your course or whatever it
Right.
is, and then make that thing better. Right. So
Right.
I have a beauty business basics summer camp coming up. And that's
Okay.
exactly what we're going to be doing, is actually going through our businesses and making it better. So that's pretty much what I have going on. I am so thankful to you, Kinyetta, that you chose me to do your your glow up. Um, I really love the way that it looks. And I went through that design like 3 different times on my own before I even showed it to you. So I had to stop myself
Thank
because I
you.
keep revising and revising and revising. I said, but does she like
And you know what it say with that? I said she gonna get on nerves. I said I'm gonna get on her nerves. Cause after you do something, I'm gonna be like, oh, I should have told her to do this. Like, damn. Cause there was some more other stuff. And I said, I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna just say, let me deal with this first. And then down the line, just
Mhm.
maybe add, something else. Cause
But that's the
things
thing. You have to work through it and experience it and say,
right, that's
okay.
true.
So instead of
That's
coming back,
true.
just like we don't want that client to come back every time. Well, what about this hair? Well, what about that hair? So should I put it in like this?
Right, yeah.
Get a group of things, then, okay, hey, so I was thinking of this, and this. Oh, cool. Okay, that's easy. But that one at a time, one at a time, one at a time,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. So yeah, but you don't know unless you have these conversations with people. So I think as a
That's
whole, the
true.
beauty community needs to work on our communication,
That's
because
true.
and managing the expectations of the clients, because these comments are outrageous. I'm a
Yeah.
comment surfer because I'm not on
Me too.
social media just to promote. I actually am trying to figure out what the need is.
Right.
We need to communicate.
Yeah, that's true.
Bring consultations back because the
That's
customers are
true.
angry, especially with the braiders, but they don't understand that some things you need a license for, and all of these different
Right.
processes and procedures. But I think, as a community, the official braid community is actually, I see them stepping up and addressing some of these issues. So I'm very proud of you all for that, but it's so many customers, we're not going to be able to reach everybody. So just continue to fight the good fight, speak up for yourselves, and just educate the clients so they know what to expect when
Yeah.
they come to you.
Yes, ma'am. Very
All
well
right, you
said.
guys, if you have any questions about anything that we talked about today, right? Not just for myself. Kinyetta told you guys she is an educator for John Paul Mitchell Systems. So if you need to be finding out some things about that, go ahead and contact her. I am going to put her information also on the in the comments for the replay. So if you come back for the replay because you weren't available to watch it all, everything will be there for you. I'm going to link the Beauty Business Summer Camp. We thank you all for your time.
Thank
We are
you.
both located in Garfield Heights, Ohio. So if you are looking for a salon home, if you are looking for, let me not say that. I was going to say if you're looking for mentorship, but I'm speaking for other people, right? But we I might be speaking something over Kinyetta. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's what she
Oh,
desires to
you know,
do.
you know what? I'm all for the journey. Like even with commission, if you want to do commission, you willing to work with me? Hey, we both can learn on this journey.
See there? Did y'all see that? It's just that easy. Ask and you shall receive. So if you are looking for a salon home on a on a permanent basis, you want to check out Kinyetta at Traces of Beauty. If you are looking for something more of a daily situation, maybe you're in town to do a bridal party or things like that, you can rent space at my salon, Head Signature Salon. Thank you all for tuning in and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.